to the end of this interview, let me ask you, if Modi wins a third term, and as some people say, with a bigger majority than 2019, what sort of ruler will he become? And secondly, how would you then describe the polity that emerges in India in Modi's third term?
Well, I think that it is very dangerous indeed for the country if he does get a third term, while acknowledging that the probability of his getting a third term is very high indeed. So what do I foresee in that third term? Certainly a greater imposition and curtailment of the rights of freedom of expression, of dissent, and so on. Certainly greater misuse of institutions of state to persecute opposition leaders and to try and wrest more and more states away from opposition control. Certainly greater attempts to push the Uniform Civil Code in the form that it has been passed in Uttarakhand, where individual rights have been completely undermined. I mean, can you imagine even so-called live-in couples have to register with state authorities? So I expect greater encroachment into people's private lives and far greater acts of imposition against all forms of dissent.
Radha Kumar, tell me this. If today, at the fag end of his second term, you're already calling Modi a textbook autocrat, how would you describe him if he returns for a third term with an even bigger majority? What word or phrase will you then use?
I think I've shot my boat, as they say. I don't think that all I would be able to say is that he is, as a textbook autocrat or as a person with totalitarian goals, he will use those 5 years to push his totalitarian goals even further. He will try to take even to expand his area of control over the states of the country. He will make the union administration far more powerful than it already is, and it is already very powerful in relation to states' rights. And as I said, he will outlaw every form of dissent or of individual rights. It may not be a project that will be completed in his third term. Doubtless he will say he will need a fourth term or a fifth term for that, but he will progress.